Hi there, Crystal Calhoun with Made to Be Unique, another tutorial, and this one is about typography. It's word art. You use words to convey a message. For instance, here with the poster of the running tiger, enjoy taking the lead. It's conveying a message. And a lot of times you can use words, text in different styles. It's an art form is what it is. You can use it in flyers, posters, products. Basically, anytime you see words, it's typography. Here's some examples. Found this on Google, just an example. I like how it spins like that and has a flower and this is very artistic word art right here, typography. This is one from one of my students in digital art. She did a wonderful job, Christian Bailey. Here you can see typography being shown on top of this retro whole cloves jar. It's art. That's what it is. You can also do a Google image search. I did one for Inspirational Faith posters just to get an idea, to show you some examples of how different people use words in an art form. And you can notice, like right over here, they make some words more bigger than others, more prominent. Hope, faith, miracles. They draw special attention to certain areas that they want you to pay more attention to. Over here you see faith there's more attention being brought to that, so it's more prominent in a person's mind when they read that. I like this one a lot. Never gives up. Makes me want to read what it's talking about. Never gives up. You just can't beat the person who never gives up. I like that a lot. We'll practice something like this. So you can get fonts like these different kinds of fonts here that you see in places such as Creative Market. You can also find them for free in DaFont. The complication with getting free fonts is that a lot of times they do not come with commercial licenses, so you're not supposed to use them when creating commercial products, things you want to sell. A lot of times they'll say, like right here, free for personal use. That means the person who made this font is saying, hey, you can use my font for free, but you're not supposed to financially benefit from it. However, there are some people, let's see if we can find one, not on this page. Let's do a little search here. We'll type in so we can increase how many we want to see. Let's do some more options here, which I like. Public domain. That means that you can use it on commercial items. 100% free. Also, you can use for commercial items. So we'll submit that. Okay, so that means that I can download these fonts for free and put them on my computer, and I'm allowed to use them in commercial products. And now I can sort through, now that I have it over here, the option selected, I can search around, and let's see, sans serif is a very popular one. I like that. That looks good. So you can download these, and I have been using DaFont for years. So I would recommend trying DaFont if you want some neat and fun free fonts on your computer. Or you can go to places again such as Creative Market, and you can use some of their really amazing fonts. If you notice here, they have like 94 in one bundle. These are temporary sales that you don't always see. I love them because, such as this one, that's only $18 for all of them. It comes with a commercial license. Somewhere in here I saw this guide contains my permission to use my fonts for commercial use, including logo designs, websites, ebooks, and such. So normally, if it doesn't have a commercial license, you're not supposed to use it. Usually you would have to buy another license, which would cost maybe about $100 some. Commercial licenses are usually very expensive. So again, you can use the DaFont free fonts, or you can come over here and get some for a really great discount, and just make sure that it says you can have it, you can use it for commercial use. Very important. Oh, and just to get an idea of the different kinds of fonts, you can also, just to get more familiar with the terms, you can go on Creative Market and just scroll down and see what they call, you know, like the sans serif and the script and the black letter. See what they say. So when I do typography, usually I'll use 2, maybe 3 different kinds of fonts in my typography art. Usually it's a script and also a sans serif, such as, you know, one of these skinny ones, or something really strong and fat or tight. It just depends on the purpose and what I plan on using it for. Here's some examples of the script. Serendipity. And notice they're also using the sans serif right here to the sans serif is a lot easier to read than the script, but the script is prettier. And I have bought some script from here before, and I use it for logos and whatever, but I really enjoy it. Let's go ahead and do some word art. I opened this up to show you in one of my previous tutorials, right here, typography. Now notice I have these all on each different layers, these words, moon and up to the sky. There's a sky that has a different font. Notice here it has fresh script, and then up to the has a copper plate, Gothic. So I have a lot of fonts I go through when I'm doing my projects. It really depends on what kind of project I'm working on. But again, most of the time I'll use a script and also a sans serif. So let's go ahead and we'll use this, and we're going to do something like we saw here. You just can't beat the person who. Let's type that up. Just click in there. You just can't beat the person who. Now you can see that, well, you can't see it. It's way too small. So I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to get one of those corners, and I'm holding down the shift key so that it stretches it both ways. Okay, double click, get out of there. So I already have the copper plate selected. I can change that later, but for now we'll just leave it the same. And notice I wrote a whole line on there. Over here again, you can have where it's just one word on one layer, or you can have a whole entire sentence be on the same layer. It all depends on what you want. So never is on its own layer. Let's do that. Never. Hold that shift key down, and let's stretch it all the way across. There we go. Now let's see. Notice how it lines up really nicely with the long row with a lot of words there. It's all lined up very nicely. So let's go ahead and make sure that ours is lined up pretty good with the top row. I'm going to create a new layer and have a solid color. The black is good, and the opacity. There we go. I like that a lot. Okay. Let's go back up, and it says gives up. Gives up. Hold that shift key down. Oop, I need that S in there. Gives up. Now it's too long. Hold that shift key and make it smaller. We can also use guides to help us. A new guide. Let's use a vertical guide. And we'll put it there next to the Y. And then another one. View. A new guide. Vertical. Yes. Move that over to the end of the O. Now I'm going to move this so that it basically touches the line on the left by the Y. And it's a little teeny tiny too close on that side, so I'm going to make it just a little smaller, holding down my shift key. And looking over here and looking over there. Now I'm going to get this, bring it over, touching that line. It's too long over here, so hold my shift key and drag it, double click, and now they're all about the same. But I want to keep in mind the space between each of these rows. So I'm going to select them all. We don't want that. Control Z. So let's use nah. So one way of figuring out a nice, if the spacing is, very similar, what I do, I'm sure there's other people that do other things, but this is what I do, is I will go this with a new shape, a rectangular shape, and let's make it an obvious color. It's kind of going to be a guide for me. Okay, so that's basically what I have from that row to this row. Then I'm going to bring it down, and let's see, I want to be at the edge of the E, and then here I got to select this and bring it up, tab it with the arrow up. There we go. Now I don't need it anymore. If I want, I can just hide it and use it again some other time. So there we go. We have very nice spacing, and it looks good. It looks very good. Now if we want to make sure that it's in the center of the page, let's create a folder. Select them all, drag it up into the folder, and then we need to create a copy of that background. And with your control and the background, you've selected the group and also the background, and then we're going to get this alignment right here in the center. So I didn't have it perfectly aligned, so that will have it perfectly aligned, and over here right there in the center as well. However, I don't like that it's hiding the guy running, so I think I'm going to Control Alt Z so that we can see that guy. In fact, we might even bring it up, or I might even make it smaller. Yes, let's make it smaller. So if I have the whole group selected, it will move all of those fonts for me at the same time. There we go, right above his head. And I'm going to control with the group and the background and make sure it's centered. There we go. Very nice. I don't need these, they're kind of distracting me. Okay, I think that looks really good. Now if I want to show more of the runner, we'll change that opacity. Lower it. I think that looks good. Let's see what else they have on there, because there's some other words. Oh, it has the name. Babe Ruth, huh? Alright. So if we want to give a quote credit, you can always look that up, because many times people will quote some people from the past and it's an inaccurate quote. I don't even know how to explain that. So anyway, quotes are very complicated when you're giving credits for quotes, because most of the time it's not really the original author of the quote. So anyway, you're able to do that if you want. Also, we can try some different fonts. Let's do Corbel. That might be a nice one. Let's do Corbel. And then we can try a Devon. Let's do a script on this one this time. I like fresh script. There we go. And then I don't really want to use a different font, but I'd like to use it as the same one up there on the top. So that is Corbel. I'll make sure that I find Corbel. So another way you can do this is to change the size and the placement. When I use a script font, I like to cradle the sans serif, if that makes any sense. Kind of find little nooks that are left over. And it will probably be too small to read. I can do that, or I can break up that one. You just can't beat. Let's break there. And double click, actually just click. It's pretty bold. Since that one looks a lot stronger, let's make this stronger and it'll fit it better. So you can just play around, see which one seems to work best for you. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to make those all caps. See right there, I can turn that to all caps. And I will make it smaller. Another thing that can help blend font word art is using shapes like line tools. I'll just use the rectangle because I can resize the rectangle a lot easier. Let's put that below. There we go. I'm feeling better about this. So as you can see, it's a lot of playing around to get the right feel. The other one with the all the same fonts was a lot easier, a lot faster, and this one takes a lot of give and take to get it just right. Alright, there we go. I like that. And I think I'll even use this background. Drag it up. I like that. And then maybe I'll even do some background behind the gives up, see how that looks. If I was going in from different directions. I like that. Okay, so those are ideas of playing around with different background. Oh, yeah, actually I like that right there. Oh, and also if you want to change the alignment, here's the alignment right here. That works pretty good too. Just become more aware of your tools using the characters and the spacing. Oh, another thing is the spacing. You should know about the spacing. See right here? It has a minus. Let's add spacing. Okay, well, there you go, and I look forward to seeing some of the stuff that you come up with.